Wa hey, Nairobi. If you've never been to Nairobi, if you've never lost something, you will always say someone is careless. 1 year back, I never thought I'll ever give this story. Actually, no one knows about it. But I'm here to educate you because you might go through the same, maybe because you don't know. But you need to be very careful. Whether you live in Nairobi, whether you come maybe once in a week or you visit, this can happen to you. This is how I was robbed. Back then, I couldn't even talk about this story. But right now, because I've become a bit sharp, knowledgeable about how Nairobi is, in Kenya, we call Nairobi Kanairo, because of the things that this Nairobi has shown us. I was coming from work, this happened like 1 year ago, and this is the first time I'm giving this story. So I was coming from work, and then I was hurrying because I wanted to go for driving. That time I was going for driving, and nikitembea tu hivi, I just saw a young man who was walking, and then an older man. Both of them were just before me or in front of me. Is that correct? All right. Now, the older man was like removing something from the back pocket of his trouser, and without knowing, he dropped an envelope. You see this type of envelope that are clear, some in a way you can be able to see not everything, but you can be able to see what is inside. So there was a note. Now, there's these old notes for the 1,000 Kenyan shillings and 50 Kenyan shillings. If you compare them, there's some similarities. When you hide where it's written 50, then there's some kind of similarities. So now, the man dropped it and continued walking. So when I reached where the envelope was, just before I reached it, the young man picked it. And he told me, "Hi, madam, you see that old man has dropped this envelope. And I am thinking we should go and take it to him, but he should give us a share of it." And I was like, okay, this is 50,000 shillings. Even if he doesn't give us so much money, like let's say he give us 2,000, that's okay. Sisi na haraka zetu na furaha yangu, mimi nikakimbia. And then we reached where the man was. Now, when the old man dropped the envelope and continued walking, he kind of realized he has dropped something. So he stopped and started checking on his pockets, or like someone who have lost something. And immediately we reached where he was with the man. So the man, this younger man, asked him if he had dropped something, and he said yes. He said, actually, this is what he said: I am a driver. That money was for the company, and then my money out of the 50,000 shillings was 10,000. But I'm begging you, please give me that money because it's not mine. My money is the only money that is mine there is like 10,000. So please give me that money. And I think I didn't tell you this. When the younger man was picking that envelope from the ground, there was a note or a receipt written 50,000 Kenyan shillings, right? So he said, "Now I'll give you 10,000 of this money, but please, I hope you have not come with anyone else to rob me this money, because this money is for the company that I work for." The old man looked like he was depressed. He was fearful. He was fearing something, or he was anxious, you see. So he told me, "Young lady, now you've come." And the funny thing about this is, this younger man pretended like we were together, like we had collected the money together, like we had come from the same place, you see. So he told us, the old man told us, "Now this young lady, please, you will go from this money, please remove only 10,000 and not more than that. You give the younger man the 5,000, and you take 5,000, and the rest please give me. Do not take more than that." And since from the envelope I could see a note that looked like 1,000, and there were other notes, shape of a note. so many in that envelope. And I was like, oh, this is very easy. I just need to go and remove the 10,000 Kenyan shillings, and then I give the rest. And this happened incidentally because now, just before me, there were some public toilets, so I just needed to go pay 10 bob and then come back. But before I went, he asked me, you know, this money is so much, and your phone is not even 50,000 worth. So I need you to tell me, give me one of your contacts from your phone. In case you run away with it, I'll be able to recover the money. And I had sunk. It was like now I knew these people. I had trusted them. I didn't think that something bad was about to happen. And that time my phone had a pattern. So I was unlocking my phone with the pattern so that I can give him one of my contact. In case I run away with the money, they'll be able to contact them. So without knowing, so innocently, I drew the pattern, and one of them looked very well how I drew the pattern. And he told me, this phone, even if you go with the 50,000, this phone is not even worth it. So leave us with it. Go remove that. Go remove the money, and then you bring the rest. This young man here, if you get lost with the money, I'll have to question him. So innocently, I ran to the toilet. I left my phone with them because they convinced me that my phone is not worth 50,000 shillings. And I was like, I have 50,000 shillings. So even if I go away with the money, there is no loss. And immediately I stepped in the toilet's door. Something told me, you've been robbed. I honestly can't tell you how this happened, but I just felt that. So hurriedly, I opened the envelope and I only found 50 shillings. And I was like, oh my God, I left my phone with them. And before even I went to the washroom to remove the money, I couldn't remove it in the public because they were fearful. They were saying that this is a lot of money, so we don't want people to realize or people to notice that we are like sharing the money, so you should go to the washroom. They had asked me, do you have some cash? Maybe you can give us just in case you go away. It's like they didn't trust me, but I trusted them. So I was trying to convince them that I can't go away with the money. So I left my phone with them. At that moment, I didn't have the cash. So I didn't give them the cash. I told them I only have 10 bob, which I'm going to pay to the washroom so that I can be allowed to get in and do whatever I was going to do there. And I found 50 bob. And my phone, my first phone, my new phone, was gone. I got out and I couldn't see anyone. This business, this thing was between the three of us. No one else was involved. So I was like, do I start shouting here like a madman? Or do I start crying? Or what do I do? I'm telling you, I was depressed. I didn't tell anyone. I just said I don't know how. I just felt so broken. And I didn't utter a word. That is how my phone was stolen. To be honest, I just realized I was about to be conned when I entered the washroom's door. Before then, it's like I was confused. So never say that you're so sharp not to be stolen. Some people also use other tricks that you might not even think. Some are so smart that you cannot even think that you're thieves. So you better be careful. This is Kanairo. I hope you've learned, but that is how my first phone went. I think my phone was 9 months old, but it went away. It was a good welcoming though, but in a bad way. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please consider subscribing below. Let's hit 1,000.